Tonight's tactical enhancement is San Miguel. Tonight we're playing Black Powder. 550 points, so I can take some slightly different stuff with the Prussians. And we're up against the French. These are Lou's French, but just for fun, Lou's on my side for a change. And we have Dave and Chris fielding the Francais. And they've got two big infantry brigades, because last time they had three little ones and we broke them a bit easily. So this one's got 5 units in it, including a light infantry there, because there's less dudes per stand. And another big one of 4 over there. They've got some foot artillery on the hill. This is Lou's lovely big table. It's the same one as last time, but we're sticking the forces on opposite sides. And in reserve, they've got a
division.
Yeah, division. 3 big units of heavy cav and a horse gun, yeah, which has the dismounted horse infantry there. Right, so, and they're tough units as well. Yeah, heavy cav, tough units of infantry. This is not going to be an easy nut to crack. And up against that, we have the usual 2 units of 4 battalions. So that's 2 line and 2 landwehr. And they're accompanied each by a cannon of foot and a unit of Jaegers, because I haven't fielded these in so long, so half the reason we're taking a bigger game is just to mix up a bit and have Jaegers. And so we've got that times 2. They're all leadership 8, and I've got 2 units of Ulan in reserve, also leadership 8. So what that means is we've got a wedge here, and gunnery covering the centre. And the horses come in, what is it, turn 2 or 3?
3.
Turn 3, right, horses come in, and they can come in anywhere up to halfway up one's flank. They're probably not here, because there's vines, or anywhere along the back of one's own side. So that's basically it. No real scenario this time. It's, I think the French trying to get revenge for the horrific things that the Prussians did to them last time, or more likely that they did to themselves. Either way, I think it's time we roll the dice to see who goes first. Gentlemen, arm yourselves.
Go, Chris. I'll let you do it. I will.
5, 3, 4.
9.
We're on 9.
6.
No.
You
You
go
go.
first.
Alright.
Now,
Prussians are going first.
Chris had 7 points left over, so we're going to make 2 of our units valiant,
Oh, that's right.
which means we re-roll the first break test that we fail.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and that'll be basically the lead unit for each army. So it'll be the guy in red here, even though he's dropped his flag, and
This one here,
that
Chris?
one over there. Yep.
Yep. So we've got 1 each. I'll put those on there so you know which ones are the valiant units. So
Excellent.
then it's got a good smattering of veterans through it.
Yep.
Okay.
And on that note, we will check in at the end of Prussia, turn 1. And of a very fast Prussian turn 1. It's a great thing about this game, it moves quick. We moved these guys up 2 moves up the flank. We're aiming for 3, but 2 is good enough. And these guys moved up 2 moves into the cover of the vineyard, -1. We did a single move of 6 inches up the hill here to then shoot through at some light infantry. And Lou's brigade, we're taking a brigade each. His artillery took a shot as well. We both hit, but Sean rolled some arse and saved. Sean? Dave rolled some arse. I was thinking of arse and rolling, so immediately I said Sean. Meanwhile, Lou is moving his brigade up the left flank, and isn't that a big formation? And some Jaegers running in the fields there. So that's it. Very quick first turn. Over to the French. First turn. End of French turn 1. They are rather positioned to repel our attacks. Over here, the entire Brigade La Dave moved up to a defensive line along the river. They're actually in column, but combined they align. And they moved up their skirmishers here to hold the gap, but they're in skirmish formation to make them harder to kill with the cannon. These cannons shot and missed my lads who are back here. Then over here, that's an entire brigade of I don't know, infantry La Christophe moved up once and shot and actually popped a wound off of these guys, which was something.
And disordered.
And disordered them. That's rather unfortunate. But that's all they've done. So it's now back over to the Prussians. We will check in after Prussian turn 2. End of Prussian turn 2.
Fucking have a crack though.
And Lou manoeuvred a little bit here in order to protect this brigade, which was shaken from fire last turn. And he's in a good position to deal with this lot if they decide to barge in. And I think, did you get some rounds off?
I got one shot from them which missed, and I missed there as well.
No, you hit with the cannon over here.
This cannon took a wound off of them.
But I moved twice, so I couldn't shoot.
Ah, right, okay. This cannon fired at these guys and missed. Now over here, the general idea was to do a conga line charge in column up and whack this lot and have this guys as flank security. But I rolled enough to move once, used the general for the reroll, and still only moved enough to move once, which could have been worse. We've advanced, I've got my flank security in position. But yeah, unfortunately the biff into these guys did not happen. So it'll be interesting to see what Dave does about that. More shits and giggles were required from this lot deciding to run their full distance. They got like 3 moves. I really could have used that over here, but no. So these guys moved 3 moves because I realized after a bit that being in the vines was useless because I'm blocking my own shot. So I moved my skirmishy chaps up there. They'll do something mean next turn. It's already causing Sean. It's the second time. This is the second time I've called Dave Sean. I don't know.
I'm not a good looking fella, but
I'm so used to throwing dice at Sean and generally swearing at him that dearie me. Anyway, Dave's already thinking about what he's going to have to do about that. We got the other Jaegers sneaking around there, so they can jump into a building and I don't know, start peppering some guys, whatever they want to do. So we're in a good position, but unfortunately, it's now the French turn too. So we will check in after that. End of French turn 2, and they had a horrific time with everyone getting confused about what they're supposed to be doing, by which I mean the dice. These guys were just outside of 6 inches, probably more like about 8 or 9 inches. They tried to charge across the river into these guys, but they needed orders to do it because they were more than an impulse. Well, because they needed to move more than once. They could use impulse, but impulse wasn't enough. So we rolled it up and only got to move once anyway. So they stopped here. They fired a couple of rounds because they only moved once, but they missed. The cannon fired at one of these cannon and missed. This lot tried to advance to threaten the cannon, which are sitting in the very little between them and the enemy, and they failed their leadership. Now over here, Brigade Commander Christophe charged with this lot on impulse, but they copped some enfilading fire on the way in from the skirmishers. The defensive fire from these guys missed. Now they didn't take any casualties, but they are disordered. Then the rest of this lot shuffled up to provide support and plink away at these guys or whatever it is that they're doing. Right, in the melee, because they were slightly shot up on the way in, they were rolling even with the Prussians. The Prussians don't like them very much. They get a reroll, and the Prussians won just. But the French are holding, so the biffo is on for 1 and old. Alright, so now we'll go into Prussian turn 3 and the cavalry will come on. End of turn 3 for the Prussians. Now the cavalry turned up and we put them on the road so they can get into the thick of it really fucking fast. Over here we just did impulse moves. We charged this lot and I positioned the rest of the guys to give them flank protection and support. We knocked 2 wounds off of them because we did do the charge. That was all good. We won the combat, but they stuck around. Over here, this lot shot at these guys. They made their save, but we did disorder them. Now over here, the Jaegers plinked at The artillery, they rolled up a 6, but we rolled to confirm disorders, and I failed to confirm it, but they failed their armour, so we did do an actual wound on the artillery. That was nice. My artillery missed. Lou had nothing to shoot at, so he repositioned his guns, because we think the French cav may turn up over here. And now Lou positioned these guys to get on the flank of this unit. That could be bad for the French shortly. And in the fight, it's kind of funny because the French rolled 1 hit and the Prussians rolled 5 hits. Then the Prussians took the only casualty out of that fight. But because of the way that the support was set up for that unit, we still won the fight. And the French stuck around. So, interesting. Nothing decisive yet, but we're manoeuvring carefully, and well, we were close enough we didn't have to roll orders, which was the downfall of the French last turn. So you take the dice out of it and it's a lot easier to play this game. But now is French turn 3, and the French cavalry, in turn, including their horse gun, yeah, that's all turning up, and that's a large chunk of the French army. We've had it all our own way thus far. We'll see what the bastards do to us in turn 3. End of French turn 3. Now the French had a plan to bring all their cavalry in over here.
Yeah, sure did.
Now if I'd known what I was doing, I would have done this on purpose. Fortunately, I did it by accident. I had these guys close enough to the edge that between the was it 36 odd inches of deployment up here and the woods being in the way, the cavalry brigade couldn't quite fit on, because you can't deploy within 6 inches of a unit, of an enemy unit. So, alright, that didn't work, so they went over the other side of the table, and again, entirely coincidentally, they couldn't fit here either, because again there's some woods and there's a unit here. So the entire French brigade of cavalry is barreling headfirst up the road, much like ours is. This is not what they wanted to do, but that's what they're stuck with. It's a bit of an interesting situation, because this whole area is a bottleneck. There's big fields there which reduce movement by half. These buildings get in the way. It's a bit more open over here, but so these French cavalry are going to have to do a lot of movement to swing around to get something. I mean, they might get the guns, but that's another story. When it comes to the dice rolls, it was, shall we say, mixed blessings for the French. They fired their cannon at these guys and bumped off 2, which is pretty good. 2 hits, 2 failed saves. Then Dave, I'll get his name right this time, decided he wanted to move this lot all the way into that field there, but they rolled really terribly, even with the general's reroll. They moved up once, but it was just enough to get him into contact with these guys. Then he rolled up 3 fucking 6s, including the reroll, because they're sharpshooters. They failed 2 out of 3 of those, so this unit is now shaken and had to roll morale. And disordered. Yeah, so unfortunately I rolled boxcars and they stuck around, but that could have been unfortunate. They'll probably do it again next turn. What else happened? Now, in the melee over here, we both rolled very high. I bumped off 2 French. The French bumped off 1 morale of Prussian. But that fight's still going on. They rolled 9, they stuck around. These guys were disordered, so they didn't go anywhere, and they got in the way of everybody else. So the French were all bunched up by their own confused orders last turn. Over here, the brawl continued, and this time the unit fell back. Are they shaken or anything?
Yes. Disordered and shaken.
Disordered and shaken, so that's good. And the Prussians moved up a little bit, but that's a hell of a nut to crack through there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Now, I hope you don't mind me saying this. The original plan was to hold on this flank and to crack through on that flank. But of course, the French have been needlessly aggressive on both flanks, and we seem to be pushing hard in both directions on both flanks. So it's like, okay, well, we essentially have a pincer attack, which we weren't necessarily planning, but it's worked out that way. So I was thinking of bringing the cavalry up this way originally, but I wasn't really thinking about how they come on the table. And of course, now we've got them coming up the guts that we have to deal with.
Yes.
So on that note, Over to Prussian, turn 4. End of Prussian, turn 4. Now, various things happened. We charged these guys into the skirmishes that were here, and after a whole lot of mucking around figuring out how the rules work, we decided that the skirmishers had managed to scarper just out of range of the cav, so the cav moved up to occupy the bridge. That'll have to do. Over here, the biff continued. Now, we did shoot at them, and these guys had moved up enough to shoot at the cannon, and these guys continued shooting at the cannon, and we rolled reasonably well, but unfortunately, Dave rolled rather well too, so we did fuck all to them. These cannon...
Fall back, though.
Yes, now in the melee, we did finally beat up a unit that decided to fuck off, but the unit that was supporting them decided not to fuck off. Actually, they were supporting and they were supporting too, so they got a roll. Oh, come on, dice. Do what the French do. Oh,
I think they might be gone.
Yeah, they're goners as well.
What
They were supporting as well. So they had to roll. And I rolled a 4.
Alright, well, we'll have a think about whether we take that off, because we did have some stuff ups with who was hitting on what, and we decided that...
They technically were supporting.
Yeah, leave them there, because we're doing some gentleman's rules, because we had a mistake in terms of who was rolling what, and that affected the saves for my unit, which affected who won or lost, and it was really marginal. So we decided that in all likelihood we didn't take a casualty on the Prussians, so the Prussians won. But then, of course, the French unit finally broke and buggered off. So given that we negotiated the solution to having rolled the wrong dice, it'd be a bit rough for 2 units to come off. Right, on that note, we did fire the cannon, but they were shaken and disordered, and yeah, they didn't hit. Over here, there's a lovely big brawl. And what was the result?
Christopher won.
Yeah,
Prussians held.
French won and the Prussians held, right, okay. And the casualties are piling up. They'd actually been recycled because this unit moved out of the way after it pushed back a French unit, but they were beat up.
Yeah.
So Lou moved them out and these guys in. That changed how many supports the Prussians had. So this is the bottleneck that we had last game, only it was the other way around. It's quite hard to support your troops pushing in.
He disordered me on the way in too.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Rolled 6.
So we're finding that it's really bloody hard to kill anything today. Everyone's being stubborn, apart from one unit over here. So on that note, the biff continues. I think the French cavalry is going to make its presence known this turn.
Yep.
On that note, we'll check in at the end of French turn 4. End of turn 4 French, and it's a tough fight today. Right, so let's see. In the fight here, this fight charged in, and I think we won.
Yes, both fights.
That's right, we won this fight, and we also won against these guys who had charged here, because I had to pour all of my supports into this fight. In order to keep, basically in order to win by 1. So there was no supports for the fight happening here, and I won by 1 just. So it's tough, close fights everywhere. The cannon fucking missed. These guys, thank God, because they're not looking too happy about the last time they got shot. These guys came running out of the way in order to free space up for the fight over there. Now in this brawl, they butted heads again, and the French won again, but the Prussians stuck around. It's just been a day of that happening. Except, of course, for the cavalry. These guys charged by Uhlans. My Uhlans counter-charged. We both mangled each other pretty fucking good in terms of casualties. But the Uhlans lost, and then they rolled 3, so they buggered off. But because these guys were shaken, and my Uhlan was shaken as well, we really mangled each other in that fight. They couldn't do a follow-up move. Or at least they couldn't follow up charge into these guys. So that leaves us going for the Prussian turn with these guys fresh. These guys rather well positioned to keep the fight going over here, and that fight over there locked up. There was one other interesting thing. These guys charged the skirmishers, and the skirmishers don't have to worry about terrain effects when they flee or evade, whereas these guys had to march through a field, which is half movement. And the gunnery also moved up here, but they couldn't unlimber. It was too much like hard work getting in position. So the French are very well positioned, but we narrowly avoided them killing a bunch of guys or shooting or anything like that. So yeah, it's a lock up here. It actually is turning into the defensive position that we were expecting it to be on this flank, but more by circumstance than design, because the French are manoeuvring very cleverly. On that note, over to the Prussians, turn 5. End of Prussian turn 5. Well, we got the flank on this infantry unit, and we smashed the hell out of it. It is gone. We formed into a line here and shot at the unit that was in front of us. Didn't do much. They did take a cannon round in the enfilade though. Then they were supporting this unit. They rolled a 5, and they've fallen back all the way over to there. They're one off of shaken. We just need to shake them, and that's most of this brigade gone, but we're not quite there yet. We shot at those guns again, hit them again, they saved again. That's getting a bit long in the tooth. The cavalry charged into the French cavalry, the one that had mauled my other unit of Ulan, and we mauled the shit out of each other again. We were rolling really high to hit and really badly to save. This time though I won, and they scarpered. They were already wounded from last time, but this unit is shaken. So that's not great. Over here, Lou won the fight. He actually redeployed his forces to provide 3 supports to this unit. They're hurting. Everyone else is fine. Well, they're hurting a bit, but these guys are hurt. But they won the fight and they pushed the French back. So we keep pushing units back. Have we broken any infantry over here?
No.
Where's the rest of them? Oh God, they came all the way over here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, yeah, they're spread out, but these guys are all the way back here. So we've got a whole lot of slightly beaten up French units, but well, a little bit of beaten up French units. The French are actually quite strong over here.
Yeah.
Then again, the Prussians are reasonably strong over here, so nobody's in any risk of breaking the other one's brigade. Yeah, we're holding and we're pushing back here and there, but it's there's still a long way to go here. And that's about it. We're over to the French turn 5. It'll be interesting to see what you do on this flank. It's getting quite interesting. French turn 5. Now they moved some chaps up here. They blazed away. All they really did on this flank though was put some more wounds on this unit, which caused them to fall back. And this unit's valorous, so they can actually reform if they need to. It does disorder this unit, but that's okay. Yeah, the cannon could have been more dangerous against this, because I didn't think about the fact there was an enfilade. I was so busy trying to crack this infantry unit. They charged my cavalry, which had messed up his cavalry last turn, and lo and behold, they did the same thing back to us. So we've had a seesaw battle here. So I think I've done some casualties to that unit of cav, but they're certainly not broken. Whereas I've lost my cavalry unit. Although that said, I can get a cannonball on them shortly. That could be nice. Over here, there was no melee, but these cannon were in position to unlimber and blasted canister at point blank range at these guys who fell back. They're still here, fortunately. So yeah, this brigade is hurting. My brigade is hurting a little bit. The French here are hurting only a little bit, but the cavalry are halfway gone, and this unit's probably about 2/3 of the way gone. So it could go either way. What do you reckon, gentlemen? Shall we do turn 6?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll do turn 6 and see if we can make a definitive result. End of Prussian turn 6, I think it is. We reformed into line. We blattered away like crazy at this unit, and Lou shot a cannonball at it, which actually was saved. We put a bunch of wounds on this, and Chris was rolling up a storm for the saves, but 2 of them got through.
Then we did a snake eyes.
And yeah, in the last roll he did a snake eyes, and that's what cracked the unit, because we couldn't get to this unit to knock that last wound off. I also shot my Jaegers at these guys again, and we did actually wound them. They're now shaken 2, but they're all at 11 for their morale, so they're happy chappies. Which means they're going to shoot me in a moment. So the only things that are left, these 2 units that are not shaken, and this one's taken 2 wounds, but that's the that is the brigade gone. Now, the flip side is my brigade of 2 Ulan, it's only a very small brigade, but that's also gone. So we've both got 1 each that's cracked. Then in the fight over here, Lou moved these guys forward, shot, they loved it. There was some shoot from sharpshooters at these guys, they loved it. They seem to be enthusiastic about, I don't know, catching musket balls between their teeth or something. The French are saving like crazy today. And in the brawl here, they did a wound each to each other. They had 1 support each, and that was it. Now this unit would have loved to have charged, which would have been crazy because there's 2 supports in the cavalry. But they were shaken, so they couldn't charge. So they just advanced and shot. So, yeah, the Prussians are not likely to disappear anytime soon over here, but they're not cracking through. We're now into the French turn 6. We'll see if we can get a definitive result at the end of this. End of French turn, I think that was 6.
Yes, it was.
Right, so this lot moved off, which was good. They're still in position where they were, but that's good because by moving away, even though they could shoot as they were withdrawing, by the time they've moved, they're out of range, thank fuck, because this brigade is not holding on by an awful lot. You could have made them roll, I know, with some lucky shots they could have cracked them, maybe. The cavalry didn't move because it was the last turn of the game, but it wouldn't have made a difference either way. We might roll these dice. It won't make a difference to the game, but fuck it, roll the dice, get some canister in there.
Yeah, I didn't.
There's artillery redeployed there.
There we go.
Well, you're going to need those rerolls for the enfilade.
Yes,
2 shots in the flank. I'll roll a couple of dice for Lou. And we get
2
no saves. So Lou, you want to roll morale for these guys? See if they fuck off.
I've got a shot from these guys as well.
Oh yeah. Missed. Suddenly your dice are not working.
Rolling 4.
You're rolling
that
for
lot.
morale and you're 2 over. And they hang around.
Yeah, so they're hanging around. That's interesting. This unit fought the skirmishers, and we kept the skirmishers there because what he really wanted to do was to chase the skirmishers off, make them evade, so he could follow through to this unit and polish it off. Although this unit is actually shaken anyway, so it wouldn't have made a huge difference. As it is, the skirmishers acquitted themselves quite well, not enough to break that unit, and then they rolled massive morale, even though they'd taken huge cavalry casualties. And we decided they should fall back because we weren't sure, and it makes no difference. Lots of shooting against them. In the melee, this unit finally cracked that unit that it was fighting, and it is gone. Did that unit have a support?
Which unit?
This one that's destroyed.
Where?
That was there, that this unit killed.
Had 1.
Did it roll? You didn't roll for the support.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, this can make the game. Oh no, they're sticking around.
10.
Alright. That's worth a try. Alright, so I think that's largely it. So the guns had to move around over there because they wanted to come up here and shoot, but the skirmishers were in the way with the brawl against these guys. So lots of damage went into things that didn't make a huge difference in the end. So where we're at is there's 1 withdrawn infantry brigade, which is 5 battalions plus the cannon. There's 1 withdrawn Prussian brigade of 2 units of Ulan. This unit's mauled but combat effective still. Both sides are mauled over here, but both still combat effective. Not by a lot, but you know, they're all wounded if they're not dead. We still have our guns, but they still have their cavalry. So it's a pretty even outcome. It's been a lot of bashing heads to, well, I'm not quite sure how you determine who won. Now, Chris was being gentlemanly and suggesting that it's a very, very narrow Prussian victory, but I'm not sure if the points would necessarily support that. I feel the Prussian army is doing what it's supposed to, but the lack of cavalry does leave things wide open for these guys, and we'd really be relying on the artillery to counter that, which is a bit dicey, shall we say. Gentlemen, what have we learned?
Use your cavalry wisely.
Watch bottlenecks.
Watch bottlenecks. That has proven to be a real bastard of a patch of the table in 2 games now.
I mean, we've got through, but now we're through. He's just going to turn this cavalry around, charge them.
Because I've got that stuff over here.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly, you didn't move your cavalry because it was the last turn of the game, but you could have decided this turn where to appoint your cavalry. Now, where would you have pointed them?
This had broken that way.
Yeah.
But now this is broken as well. That's skedaddle.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so they'd have to move
That's
off.
why I'm saying it's a Prussian victory.
Yeah. A close one.
Well, I think the cavalry probably screens the French withdrawal, and they regroup, and they've still got a shit ton of troops, because not that many of them were annihilated. Mostly they're falling back.
True.
Meanwhile, we scrape up a few, dead Ulan, reconstitute some units on both flanks.
Or you captured waffle.
Oh, is that what that is? The barn. That's unfortunate. Right, well, that was an interesting game. Dave's left for the evening, but Dave and Chris were saying that they had the same plan we did. Hold on this flank and attack across the river, because that's a surprise. No one would expect it, because most people would just sit on the other side of the river and just shoot as a defensive barrier. But we both decided to crack heads over here, and we both had a problem with where to put our cavalry, because this flank is terrible for cavalry, and this flank is okay, but then you got to deal with the bottleneck over here with those fields and everything. So we both decided to go up the road, and I did want to use my cavalry to go in the flank and crack this unit over here, or failing that, get these guys in the back in a pincer. But that was a hell of a lot of cavalry that came up the guts there. Now this unit here was only 1 off of breaking, and if I'd whacked it with a cannonball in turn 6 from here, that would have broken the cavalry as well. That would have been a decisive victory, but alas, I missed. Well, actually, the odds of that working were probably only about 20%. You wouldn't bet your house on it, but I like the idea of the woulda, coulda, shoulda. But yeah, it was a tough fight for both sides, and it could have gone either way. Any other comments, gentlemen?
The importance of taking off morale points so you don't get shaken.
Yeah, good point, because you played that really well. You have 2 units that could have gone off.
Yeah. But even with those dragoons, and they're back to 1.
Yeah, that's true.
So you would have had to hit them twice.
Yep. So that danger of collecting with 1 lucky shot was gone. I didn't take any off because I was too busy shooting.
So that's what happens. People forget to keep their morale up.
Correct. I just kept killing and shooting all night.
Yep. Well, I'm happy to say my Jaegers that were over in those woods over there did manage to eventually shake the cannon, and it's not a game deciding in any way, shape or form, but I'm just happy. I enjoyed that. On that note, I think it's definitely it's the go home time. Lou's kindly packing up for me. So thank you for watching. Feel free to hit like, subscribe, comment, anything that helps the algorithm. You know, this is a hobby channel of grown men playing with war dollies, none of this AI slop. So help the algorithm out. Send us a comment or something. But for now, it's time to call it a night.